no cap. I'ma ride or die for my dreams on tap. I'ma fly real high, you ain't see me slack. No, it's not how you fall, it's how you get right back up. That's how you get tough. Calluses on my hands so rough, yeah, I call your bluff. I'm not the one, mess with me and come out with none. Cause I'm so done, you had your fun, and now you're gonna face down the barrel of the gun. Cause I got a full clip, put your name on it, but I'ma let you slide cause you ain't worth it. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want, I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want, I'll keep dreaming on.
Firearm platform. So they do have different models. This one in particular is the XR920, which I did a ton of research before I purchased this firearm. They have different models, and also they have different variations of what the models look like. So I'll explain kind of what this one is, and then we'll go from there. This one is the XR920 Elite. They have two different types. It could be either a combat or an elite. The Elite basically gives you top serrations on the slide, side serrations on the slide. It also gives you slide cuts. Also gives you a threaded barrel as well, and it's also a fluted barrel. And so that's what makes this one the Elite. It also has like different kind of, you know, engravings on the slide. Just makes it very buttery, very light. They have the combat one, which just takes away like the top serrations. And then also it doesn't have any slide cuts on the side as well, and that's pretty much the difference. So definitely do your research, because there is quite a few variations and stuff. I did about 2 to 3 weeks of research on this before I finally purchased it, because I wanted to make sure that, you know, this is the firearm that I have intentions on using for, you know, my first competition firearm. The price range is a little bit more expensive than the Glock, but then you're also having, you know, a lot of things already done to it. Now, granted, the sight did not come with it, the light did not come with it, this trigger didn't come with it either, so we're going to talk about all of these add-ons in a second, but I just wanted to kind of show you just what it looks like first. Okay, so there you go there. All right, so first things first, it does have a magwell that it came with, so it did bring its very own magwell in the packaging. I have it on here already added. It's like a flared magwell. You could always take it off if you want your traditional grip look into it. We'll talk about the couple of things that I already added. So I did put on top, it already comes with a slide cut for optics on the Elite. So I went ahead and put a, what can I remember? A 507C on top. So I went ahead and grabbed a HoloSun 507C. That's what you see on top. This is the X2 series, which is pretty cool. It is solar powered, so it does have like the solar window on the top, and then it's pretty cool because it reads, you know, how bright it is. So depending on how much brightness, it can kind of detect if you're indoors or outdoors, and then it automatically adjusts the brightness of the reticle depending on, you know, where you're at. Also, I got the TLR 1HL. A lot of you guys are already familiar with it. It's from a company called Streamlight. It's got 1,000 lumens. It does have the strobe effect as well, which is pretty cool. My battery is actually dying on it because I use it so much. So I have to just put new batteries in it. And then I also upgraded the trigger. So I went ahead and put a Timney trigger on here. Timney's been a company that's been around for 75 years plus. It is a 3-pound trigger, phenomenal for competition firearms, very light to the touch. And so yeah, that's on there as well. It changes the mechanism of the interior of the firearm. So instead of having, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but instead of having like a spring effect on the trigger, like the one that it came with, it gives you like a wall-to-wall action on it. So, and then that's what That's what that looks like there. Hopefully a little bit of lighting there can help you see. And then it also has that red safety trigger on there as well. Okay. And then that is that's pretty much the add-ons that I've done to it. Now let's just talk about the packaging and what it came with. Okay. First things first, it did come with 2 magazines. These are Magpul magazines. I went on my own and bought some ETS mags and some Glock magazines to use as well. It is compatible with Glock magazines. It's actually compatible with a lot of Glock things. So the XR920 in particular is a model that they have that gives you a Glock 19 slide with a Glock 17 frame. So you can use any Glock 19 holster with this firearm, which is pretty cool because Glock is universal, it's been around for a long time, and so you can kind of use their platform to buy accessories, buy holsters, and add-ons that you can do as well. So for example, this Timney trigger was not made for the Shadow Systems, it was actually made for a Glock Gen 3 to Gen 4. So, and it fits perfectly fine. I've put about 2,000 plus rounds through this trigger, have not had any issues. Now I will say this because I contacted Shadow Systems to check on the compatibility of this trigger, and they did say that once you put this trigger on here, it voids the warranty. So keep in mind, if you're going to put that add-on on there and something malfunctions down the road, it will not be a warranty firearm, okay? Which brings me to one of my points about why I love this firearm so much, aside from how it functions and everything on it. Shadow Systems actually has a policy to where if you were to use this firearm in a case of self-defense, and it was deemed, correct to use it, and you were pretty much in the right for defending yourself and everything, and the police were to possess the firearm, they will then replace it. So Shadow Systems will send you a brand new firearm if for whatever reason you had to use this firearm in the case of self-defense and you were in the right. Pulling it, protecting yourself, and if it got confiscated, they will then send you a brand new one. And that's actually in the manual, which I thought was pretty awesome. So when I was doing my research, I ran into that and I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. A couple other things that I do like about this firearm as well. The serrations on the front here are very rough coming back. And I don't mean rough like, to where you're gonna cut yourself, but they're harder coming to the rear, but smooth coming towards the front. So it makes it to where like when you're going to, cock the firearm back, it makes it to where like you have that firm, nice and rough grip. But then, when you're doing the function of coming out of a holster, it's nice and smooth, so you can just take it right out of the holster. So I just thought the technology and the thought process behind that right there, just, it's and one of the selling points for me was the attention to detail that these guys are paying attention to that a lot of other companies don't think about. They're really thinking these guys are up and coming. These guys are definitely doing all the right things. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I thought that I should mention that as well. Again, back to what the firearm comes with. Great. It comes with the 2 magazines, as I mentioned, and then if you want some, it does come with Glock compatible magazines, so you can go out and purchase ETS mags will fit it, Glock magazines will fit it, Pro Mag drums will fit it, and pretty much any Glock compatible magazine will 17, any Glock 17 magazine will fit that as well. Aside from that, it did come with its little lock. It came in this big old box. And it had a bag that came with as well, which I'll open here in a second, but it did come with one of the locks. These are the first 5 rounds that I shot through it. I always like to, and this is something that maybe you guys should be doing as well, but I always like to keep the first couple of rounds that I shoot through it, because I look at the rounds and I want to make sure that that firing pin is hitting dead center of the striking pin, or the striking whatever thing in the middle of the casing. So I just always like to make sure that it's hitting dead on, which it did, and so that way that there's no problems with the firing pin. It does come with a slide protector as well, so you can put that in there, and then it has its own little manual and stuff. Obviously, it came with its own trigger. It came with the gun oil, extreme duty gun oil. Also gives you a couple of different grips. They have I don't remember off the top of my head. I know that I have the 1911 version of the grip on myself in the back, but it does have 2 other options depending on how you like to have your point of aim. So they designed the rear grips to kind of help you adjust depending on how you like your firearm, whether it be a little bit higher or lower. And that's one of the things that they focused on when they made those, was point of aim rather than actual like grip. So depending on how the grip feels is whether you're going to be shooting a little higher or a little bit lower. So if you're like a Glock guy or a 1911 guy, you can kind of move around, you know, what you're used to and what you like. So again, attention to detail, phenomenal. It came with a little shadow system sticker that I completely forgot was in there, so now I'm gonna use it because I just went in here looking for this stuff to make this video and I came across it, so fire. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then I think that's pretty much it. Let me open up the back to show you what the interior of the back looks like. Just has a slight little compartment here that you open, and then this is where you would put the firearm. So that slides on there. And then it also comes with 5 Velcro, not Velcro, but 5 kind of slots for you to put magazines in. So whenever I go to the range, I fill all 5 up, like so. And then I close it. And then you're pretty much good to go. So that's your XR920 in the bag. So that's pretty cool as well. So yeah, guys, a couple of you guys have been asking me a lot of questions. Somebody reached out from Sweden today and asked me about the XR920, you know, if it's better than the Glock. I can't really sit here and say that it's better than the Glock. I can tell you that I have a more pleasant shooting experience with it than the Glock. It's a lot smoother. I do have some shorts. I'm pretty sure my very first short on YouTube, the first short video I've ever made on YouTube, is a mag dump with this, where, I mean, you could just see it. It's just bam, 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 bam. I mean, it is buttery. As you shoot it, the more you shoot it, the spring becomes a little bit more, I don't want to say loose because it's still perfect, but it does kind of loosens it up a little bit to where, like, I mean, it's just smooth like butter, you know, to where, like, as the Glock, it's a little bit, you know, blockier and a little bit heavier as far as it going to the rear. But man, shooting this, and don't get me wrong, I have a 3-pound trigger on the XR920, and I also have a 3-pound trigger on my Glock, and I just enjoy shooting the crap out of this a lot more. So I do enjoy my Glock as well, so don't get me wrong, but I just, you know, somebody asked, and you know, I had to keep it real with them for sure. This is an awesome firearm. Again, I have all intentions of using this as my first competition firearm. The price point ranges anywhere from like $600 to $1,200 depending on which model you get. They have a DR920 where it's a longer slide and also a long frame. They have a more compact version all the way to like a very concealed one, which is a CR920. They have an MR920. So it just depends on which one you like. So definitely do your research. But I definitely wanted to do my own review on the firearm, just kind of show you what I've done to mine personally. If you have any questions on it, please feel free to leave a comment and let me know. And then that way, you know, I can help you guys out with any questions that you may have, okay? If I didn't mention this already, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to you guys, anybody that came over to the Instagram page. We finally have 1,000 people on there, so I will be doing a giveaway this weekend, so be on the lookout. If you want to be a part of that, make sure you check out www.instagram.com/gun_talk_, just like the name of the YouTube channel. So go out there, hit your boy up with a follow. If you like the content that I'm putting out, make sure you hit a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.